And that's where the disconnect from the emotional desensitivity of society in general comes into play, because we're seeing live in front of us things in 2025 that nowhere in American history would anyone have ever assumed would have ever been a reality. We have a judge that just yesterday said there is a restraining order against Donald Trump sending the military into Portland, Oregon, saying it's a war zone that's being burnt down to the ground, when in fact Portland is a beautiful city. Do cities have crime problems? Yes, but Washington, D.C. had 38% less crime, violent crime, than it did last year. Donald Trump himself bragged about it this April. But yet now it's like Fallujah, according to Stephen Miller. So if you follow the big picture of the storylines here, it's not about the war zones in these cities. It's not about helping make crime better. It has nothing to do with that. It's normalizing the view of having the military and ICE do these drastically violent things to anyone Trump deems as an enemy. And it's being accepted because the Democrats don't want to, protect the security of this country, rather than, no, these people aren't all violent criminals like you promised to get rid of. So he keeps moving the hatred goalposts on his sheeple side, as the Democrats are struggling to get a foothold on, hey, can you see this yet? No, no, no. Then there's something else to, hey, can you see this yet? As they're cutting all the communications in all these communities that tell each other, that mainstream media won't touch, what's actually freaking going on. So there's always a evolution, a forced Darwinism of every step of the process in this world right now. So we're being forced to live in a world where the rules are getting rewritten and custom tailored for the expansion of evil and authoritarianism of the what used to be greatest, most powerful country in the world. As they're dismantling the democracy and the structure that's meant to protect citizens, the division that was created with the marketing campaign from the Trump show and the Republican Party was a coordinated effort as well to keep everybody fighting, to keep us weaker and weaker and weaker, so we don't unify fast enough to stop this bullshit from happening. So if you pull back and look at the big picture, the hypocrisy of the Republicans is becoming more and more obvious, to the point where many of the strongest, staunchest Republicans are recognizing it. The farmers are getting hit with the tariff issues because everyone's losing. All of this stuff is boiling up to a point where no one can ignore it anymore. It's a race between the awakening of the gullible and the authoritarian wave that is now taking over our country and normalizing stuff like people in military uniforms at every street corner being violent to citizens because they called them cowards for kidnapping citizens, American citizens, off the streets. There's not too many true lovers of this country that would want that to be a normal thing. No matter how much you hate the immigration system or problems you have with this country, nobody would say, oh yes, let me choose that. That's what they need to recognize. The reality of this. Do you like this? Is this okay? Is this making America great, or is this a bit too far? Did you see the wars in Portland and Washington, D.C. and New Orleans and Chicago? And no, because there wasn't any until the military showed up. Wake up.